Hello, everybody, and welcome back for another edition of This Week in Knoxville Baseball.
This ain't no summer vacation. With wild weather, 4 more wild games written into the history books this week. Just like the rest of the season, no lack of drama and excitement this week. We're past the halfway point and trending upward. Still in contention with 8 conference games left to play.
All this and more on This Week in Knoxville Baseball.
Highlights from This Week in Knoxville Baseball. look around the conference from this week in Knoxville baseball.
The conference race is starting to sort itself out, but Knoxville baseball is still in contention. Some key games in the next week will determine their fate.
Quotable quotes from this week in Knoxville baseball.
My name is Justin Linger, play for Knoxville baseball. Anytime Bryce needs to pitch or Nolan needs to come in to pitch or Bryce needs to go in and play first base because Jake's pitching, I go out and play outfield. Here at Knoxville baseball field, the lights are a little different. When you're in center field, and it's a little hard to see the ball, but you just got to work with it and you got to go catch it. I like reading comic books. Batman's my favorite character.
I'm Caden Loescher. I'm a junior. I play third base when Kevin pitches and then short when Ross pitches, so I start like 2 out of every 3 games. Probably how fast the balls get to you. When I go over short, I gotta charge the ball a lot more because at third it gets to me real quick. I don't have to come and get it really. Fastball, change up every once in a while if my curveball's not working, but usually it is. So getting a guy down 0-2 so I can throw a curveball to him. I like to go to the beach.
History lesson from this week in Knoxville baseball.
Well, there really weren't any expectations to go to a state tournament. It was something that, I'd always dreamed of the Knoxville baseball program accomplishing and going. When we did finally make it, I said, well, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This is it. That's not going to happen every year. But it was the first of many more to come. Good players and got better as the year went on. And they all loved baseball. They just really ate it up, and they just loved the sport. They learned a lot, and they learned every day, and they just absorbed everything and just got better and better, and they finally accepted their roles. We just had a lot of good role players, and they played their role really well, and they kind of came through in the clutch too. When the chips were down and the score was close, they got over the hump and they got it done. Just had a kind of a tenacity about them. They just didn't like to lose. As the year went on and they won more and they won more, they just expected to win. There was a different hero every night. There was a different guy that came through, it seemed like. Every one of them could come up with a big hit or a big steal on base. It was just a fun team, and I remember playing Sadell, and they had never lost a game that year where they had the lead after the 5th inning. They had a lead after the 5th inning, but we came back and we beat them. They always found a way towards the end to be able to pick up a run to win. It didn't impact us very much at all. Year of '93, all the farmers should have been raising rice because we just had tons and tons of rain. But it was a weird weather pattern. It would rain and it would roll in the evening, around 7, 8 o'clock, and then by 8:30 it was just pouring down rain. And then do the same thing the next day. Well, we didn't have lights back then. We had a good ground crew that went out there and mowed that thing every day, even if it had water in it. We mowed it and got it short. There were a lot of places that they didn't want to go out and mow it because it was too wet. Well, then it got wetter the next day, and we had to cancel games at Pella and Oskaloosa because it was too wet in the grass. So we got to play a lot of baseball that other people didn't get to play. And we even played some away games at home because other people couldn't get their fields ready. I really am a strong believer in the fact that winning a conference title is really the most difficult thing for any team to do. Really to be that good game in and game out, night in and night out. Really winning a conference title is the grind, and to be able to get through that and win that, it really makes a statement. It was kind of a disappointment to all the players because they had looked forward to this so much, and I suppose they tried to equate it to going to the basketball state tournament or something. But we got up in the morning, had batting practice, jumped in the van, drove to Marshalltown. When you made the state tournament, it only took 4 teams in the state semifinals when you went up there, and all 4 classes were there, and you just walked in, and they had your name on the fence, and you walked in, you went to the dugout, you warmed up, and you played the game, and if you lost the game, you went home, and we did, and we went home, and everybody said, that's it, that's the state tournament. It wasn't no big deal. So when you went to Marshalltown, you had to kind of make it a big deal yourselves. It was different when we went to Carroll. We had to stay overnight, and it was a big deal, and they made it a big deal in that town, and that was a great venue to play.